A select group of families are hopeful that deaths ruled suicides originally might be overturned, praying that someone will be held accountable for their family member's death.
Tonight we go in focus with the story of Marguerite Morris, a mother who hasn't stopped in her battle to get her daughter's case reopened. A section of Marguerite Morris's living room wall is dedicated to her daughter Catherine. It's been over 12 years since her death. Morris hasn't given up the fight to prove her daughter didn't take her own life and pushing for the case to be reopened.
Why wouldn't someone want to know what happened to their loved ones? Why don't I deserve to know if someone harmed my daughter and how they harmed my daughter?
Catherine Morris was found dead in a parking lot in Anne Arundel County in 2012. Charcoal grills lit in her car caused carbon monoxide poisoning.
We were told that she had committed suicide, and we did believe that. We didn't see, it was hard, but our child was gone.
Morris changed her opinion over time, suspicious of her daughter's husband, saying that her daughter was the victim of military marriage fraud. It's when a service member gets a sham marriage to reap the benefits from being married. Military members receive increased pay for having more dependents from the marriage. If they're found committing marriage fraud, they can be charged with fraud against the United States, which can carry a fine and even jail time.
He didn't ask her to marry him, he ordered her to marry him.
According to the police report, Catherine Morris found out her husband was cheating on her with several other women.
She had actually notified them 72 hours before her death. She sent the 3 individuals the evidence and said she was going to go to authorities about the marital fraud on Monday, and her body was found on Saturday.
According to the police investigation, a classmate told officers Catherine had attempted to take her own life a year prior to her death. Police even found what's believed to be a suicide note in Catherine's phone. Ultimately, no one was charged in Catherine's case, and police maintain that it's a suicide. But a mother's persistence can't be broken by a police report. Pushing for years and eventually getting her daughter's death classification changed from suicide to undetermined. But this doesn't change the case status. It's still closed.
So they made the change to the determination. And again, what was most traumatic to me was coming back to the police department and then them, and them refusing to cooperate. That was like pulling the rug out from us as a mother and family, because you tried for a decade to get this correction and now you have it. And they crossed their arms and said, we don't care, we're not changing it.
Now, over the last several years, Morris has been working to change policy to require that any death determined to be a suicide, then overturned, must be reopened.
It did show us that we have to have something in place.
This year, through a stubborn persistence and the help of bill sponsor Delegate Sandy Bartlett, the Catherine Morris Death Reclassification Act passed both chambers and was signed by Governor Wes Moore.
Is it going to give the families everything that they need? Of course not. But the one thing that the state could do was to make sure that the case remained open and that there was, if there is something to investigate, that the officers, the local police department, would do that investigation, and as opposed to keeping it closed.
The new law isn't retroactive, so it won't force police to reopen Catherine's case, but may help someone else.
We're not asking them to reinvestigate. List it as unsolved, because perhaps someone down the road or another organization, agency will pick it up and wonder what happened to Catherine Morris.
Marguerite is still hopeful her daughter's case will be reopened. We reached out to Anne Arundel County Police Department for a comment on this case. We were told the department cannot comment because there is pending litigation in the case. Marguerite has a hearing on September 29th asking a judge to make the department change the case to unsolved.